Another one bites the dust, but here's the thing. It didn't have to be this way. Hey, everybody, I'm Craig. Welcome to the Side Scrollers podcast channel. A little raspy today, a little bit of pollen in the air, causing a little if you will. But hey, glad you're here. If you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Join the 104,000 normal men who have found common sense in the video game and entertainment space. Glad you're here. Okay, so let's talk about this game. Tales of Kinzara Zao. Or sorry, Kinzara. Blech, sorry, I keep wanting to throw an I at the end of it. Well, it is a game that came out earlier this year, and it is drastically underperformed their sales expectations. This is a tale as old as time in the video game industry in 2024 as games come out and then they fall off the face of the earth and then they go kaput. And that is what's happened right now as we go over to that park place for this story. Tales of Kinzara Zao. Developer lays off the entire team and puts entire games division on hiatus after previously claiming game sales were just fine. Hey, why would this be a thing? What is going on with this? Well, this game, it's a game. It's out there. It's like a Metroidvania style game. And it sounds like it could be a pretty fun game. And here's the biggest thing about it is that it actually looks like it could be a pretty fun game. But here's the problem is that it hired on the kiss of death, Sweet Baby Inc. When you go back and you, and we're going to get to this story in a little bit. When you go and you actually look at the gameplay of this, it's actually like, it looks like a fun little Metroidvania. It really does. It looks like there's some fun little elements to it. You got your pushing, your pulling, your jumping, your wall jumps, some dash elements and stuff along the way. I mean, I got to be honest, from a simple gameplay perspective, it doesn't look bad at all. And I think that's where the biggest tragedy of all this comes from, is that you can have a game that has outstanding gameplay, or at least good gameplay, that has a kind of a unique style, but it's going to be disregarded because you worked with Sweet Baby. And is it fair? No. But is it a message sent? Yes. So let's get back to the story here. So like I said, they released a Twitter message over there. Surgent Studios says, we decided to put the work of Surgent Studios game division on hiatus while we secure funding for the next project. In the meantime, we've unfortunately had to put our team on notice for redundancy, meaning that there's too many of them and we got to get rid of them. So sorry about that. It added that everyone at Surgent worked incredibly hard to see Tales of Kinzara Zao, a game that truly comes from the heart. Their passion, creativity, and dedication are nothing short of extraordinary. There's still a couple of exciting updates coming down the pipeline for Zao. So, and then they finished up saying they got a new project coming on the way. So, hey, check this out. Our team has created a new prototype for a bold new project. It's darker, edgier, and more visceral than our first game, but it retains all Zao's high octane combat and cultural depth. There we go. The cultural depth. And we're looking for a partner to help bring this to life. So here's the original tweet along the way. But here's the thing, though, right? When you look at this game has not performed well at all. If you go over to the Steam DB page, you can see right now there's 5 people playing this game, 10 in the last 24 hours, 287 in the last 6 months. That is all time right there. Max right there. Boom. See that release date of April 23rd. This game came out and immediately fell off a cliff, and there was zero appetite for this game. And I think a big reason for that is because when you go to the Steam page and you follow the Sweet Baby Inc. or the DEI detected group, guess what? It says it is not recommended. Recommended against you by curators right here. Sweet Baby Inc. detected with the 450,000 people who are saying, I don't want any of this. But the reviews for it have actually been pretty good, pretty positive along the way. Now we're dealing with 22 reviews right here, and all reviews of 518, so very positive. So if people buy the game, they seem to be enjoying it, which once again, I think that's the biggest tragedy of this whole thing, is that you can have a great game, but simply by working and showing off that you want to work with Super Inc., it is a kiss of death. I think that was phrased by coined by my boy Yellow Flash. So, this is one of those things. It's a masterpiece. I wouldn't go that far, but it does have some, platforming elements, and I'm a big platforming guy. This is a game that I would have probably checked out if they didn't work with SBI. And I know that sounds callous and I know it sounds shallow, but here's the thing. You have to vote with your wallet. We've seen this time and time again where people have said, hey, I'm that looks really good. And, I'll bend it a little bit on this and I'll just make the exception. You can't make the exception when it comes to this. And I'm sorry, I don't like to see anybody ever lose their job. That's really unfortunate. It's unfortunate that all these people have lost their job, but it's part of a larger play here. Just like when people say when they inject all this stuff into video games, it's part of a bigger message. We have to push back, and that is exactly what's happening here. But here's when it goes to the Surgent Studios here. This is in addition to games, they also do films and everything along the way, other sorts of media along the way. Obviously, Tales of Kanzara did not work out, but there's a lot of irony here, in that I think that the guy behind the studio actually has some good ideas. He is an actual actor who plays video games, and he actually went out and tried to do his own thing, create his own studio. And I guess he's in House of the Dragon. And in this, he says, this is just from a couple days ago. House of Dragon Star thinks publishers need to stop trying to create the next Fortnite. And I actually very much agree with that. Make your own thing, right? And that's the thing about this game, is that they tried to make their own thing, but in doing so, they worked with the wrong partner. And this was actually right before they let everybody go. But it says that the game was first introduced at the Game Awards in 2023 last year, and the game existed as sort of a mediation of grief informed by the loss of his own father, which I think that's probably the saddest part about it, is that, once again, this game had some interesting elements to it. The story is built around a place of grief and personal story. But once again, when you feel the need to inject all this other stuff into it, the gamers have the right to vote with their wallet along the way. So, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Is this a story? Like, do you feel that it's fair that this company has to shut its doors along the way? I mean, I do. Like, at the end of the day, the market will always decide. And I would love to see what your thoughts on this as a whole are down in the comments below. This is just a real quick one, but like I said, I think that's the saddest thing about this, is that there's games that have potential, but they choose the wrong partner to work with. And until other companies see what's happened, and they see Surgent as an example of things that can happen by working with the wrong partner, well, as the old say, what do they say? Your actions have consequences along the way. And there you go. So anyways, let me know what your thoughts about this down below. Subscribe here. Go watch a video right here. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We got more videos for you guys throughout the weekend, and join us Monday through Friday when we're live at 11 a.m. Central Time for the Side Scrollers Podcast.